Hey everyone, and welcome to Conquer the Mirror There. My name is Tanja Andersen, and I am your host. And this day it is very extraordinary because my dear friend to my heart that I love all over, like up to the moon and back again, she is with us today, and her name is Joanne. Hey, my love.
Hello, my love. Thank you
Hey,
so
my
much for
love.
coming on. I'm so excited we're doing this. I
Oh
love
my
our
God.
chat.
I also love her chat. It's like, oh, I get to choose Joanna to this because she is the voice of all about what it means to really break the silence and heal the violence. Because if we're too afraid to speak our truth on what is we are choosing it to hold us back, we will never set ourselves free for what we choose that will hold us back, because everything is a choice, and the things that is holding us back is because we choose it, and there's always a solution to go through that. And Joanna is a powerhouse to really call you forward, and also really take a stand for where you are, who you are, and where you get to go to next level. So Joanna is a girl I've always, a sexy woman, a foxy lady, as I call her, my foxy lady in my life. She's always the person I could go to, and I know I will get so freaking comfortable because I choose to allow her to get in my life, like in my brain, and I always know there will come a breakthrough, and we get to be okay to be uncomfortable. And there's nothing wrong to be uncomfortable. There's nothing wrong to experience emotional thought and past experience that's coming up in us, because it is a part of this transformation into who we get to be. And we will touch base on a little bit on that, as the topic today is trailblazing. Oh my God. Anyway, girl, please say that word for me.
Trailblaze.
I was like, oh, that is a new word for me, that one. And it's all what I really, when I heard that, and Jenna will share about who she is, why this topic is so critical and important for her, is when I hear that word trailblazer, is really doing the work that's necessary for me to go to next level with urgency, with speed, and make the actions that make me most uncomfortable each day, because I get to really loving to be uncomfortable and loving into be in the pressure like this, expanding me so that I can grow. Like, how long do you choose the audience? Do you choose 1 year to transform yourself, or 10 years? Or do you choose a little bit kick with love in the butt to move you forwards? So, my love, why is this topic so important? First of all, still about who you are, because you are a business strategist and you are expert in that field, have a lot of success, as you guys will see on her Facebook page. She have a huge success with her client, so they can create the income that they want in their life. So, girl, who are you? And yeah, say a little bit about your business.
Thank you. Well, I'm your friend, first of all.
Yes, you
We're
are.
friends.
Yes,
Um,
we are. We are
so
very deep,
yeah,
strong friends.
we are. Yeah, I know. It's lovely to have that vulnerable kind of friendship for sure. So I'm Joanne. As Tanya said, I'm a business strategist for coaches that want to be able to generate the income that they want and scale to the heights that they want. Because they're trailblazers, right? And that's what we're going to talk about. But who I am is not just what like you see online. Like my story of how I got to be here, I think will probably resonate with a lot of people because my background is I'm a single mom. I have a partner now, Robert, but I'm a single mom. I had Leah when I was 20, raised her on my own until she was about 15 before I really started like dating and, meeting people. But my life and how it looked came with a lot of internal struggle, a lot of insecurities, a lot of baggage I didn't know I had actually. I didn't know I had it until I started wondering why life wasn't going the way that I wanted it to, why things felt so hard, why the vision board that was there was not my reality. In fact, it was the complete opposite. So, there's a lot, and I know we're going to talk about today, but there's a lot there that I think people will resonate with, because I think when people see success in whatever they deem success to be, they think that it's come easy, and for most
Mhm.
people, it hasn't, because there's a lot of internal shit that you need to break through. And that's why I love sharing about it. And this is why we have such a good friendship, is because we're so like real, raw, and honest with each other about,
Yeah.
what it looks like, the good, the bad, and literally the downright mirror shattering crap.
the hot moments and the nerd parties.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God, so beautiful, girl. So what did lead you, because I've been part of your life, I don't know how long time, for 2, 3, around that years. We have known each other a long time, I believe 3 years, and we get really strong connections when we was like coaches on HL together last year, like really like a deep bond. So what was the leading way for you to become the successful business strategist that you are today? I'm just curious about that.
Yeah. So if I go back to 2020, I was in a really toxic relationship. But the thing is, I didn't actually know it was toxic. So I was hiding everything that was going on. I was projecting out, this amazing thing. And inside, I was really struggling with, like the dynamic in our relationship, because it was very, very unhealthy. There was no physical violence, but there was a lot of emotional, like, I don't want to use the word abuse, but there was a lot of emotional turmoil going on. And I was trying to mask it, hide it down. And I was trying to take responsibility for his behavior and try to fix him. And it was just creating chaos like inside of me and in my life. But in that relationship, I had 2 miscarriages. And it was actually the second miscarriage that was the catalyst to change for everything. Because I remember sitting on the edge of the bed, knowing I was losing our baby, and looking at him and feeling horrified and disgusted that the only thing that he was worried about was how he was going to ring into work to let them know he wasn't going to be in because I needed to go to the hospital. And I'm like, how is that your focus? So when I sat there and was like, this is my life. How is this my life? How is this my life? I was like, okay, something's got to change, because I realized I hated my job. I'd always hated my job, but never thought my job was a problem. I always thought I was the problem. Hated my job, hated my relationship. My relationship with my daughter was falling apart because of who I'd become in that relationship. And I was like, I don't even really like a lot of my friends. I was like, who am I? Like, what is going on in my life? So I went, okay, I'm just burning everything to the ground. Everything's got to change. So ended the relationship. And I'm so grateful I did it when I did, because COVID happened 3 weeks later. I can't even imagine what it would have been like trying to live with that man during COVID. But I went for counselling. On the second counselling session, I always laugh about this. The counsellor fired me. She didn't. She just said to me, like, counselling's not what you need. She was like, there's a different type of healing that you need. She was like, you're able to verbalize what's going on with you. She was like, it's not that. She was like, you need a bit of like energy healing, body healing, somatic healing, coaching. So I was like, never thought of coaching. Me working in HR my entire life, never even thought of coaching. How is that even a thing, right? But I started looking for signs. So I went for energy healing, started looking for signs, met my first ever coach. And when in 4 weeks working with her, I realized that actually parts of HR that I loved was the coaching part, and that I could actually do this as a living. So that's where my business piece started. So I started as a life coach and then pivoted in 2022 because I ended up teaching everybody business anyway. But the internal piece didn't really start to shift. Like I had awareness of it, but like real surface awareness of what was going on, until 2021 when I did an emotional intelligence program, same one we did, leadership. And that was the catalyst to change, because it was like I was in a box of mirrors and I couldn't avoid the pieces of me that, when I say weren't working, I wasn't broken. There's like nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with any of us. But it's the pieces of me that were stopping me from living the life that I wanted. The pieces of me that I'd kept hidden, the pieces of me that I didn't want other people to see, the pieces of me that I didn't know could be seen. And it was really uncomfortable. It was really uncomfortable, like to see how controlling I was of my life, how controlling I was of my daughter's life. And I had it framed, I think a lot of us do, as in like, I'm protecting her. I'm protecting, our family unit, because I wanted me and her to have a different life to how I was raised. But in what I labeled as protection, I was actually controlling. I was manipulating situations. And that's a big word. And it's a word I know, like I own that word. But I was manipulating situations so that I could feel safe, because there was a lot of things going on that didn't make me feel safe emotionally. Physically, I was completely safe, but emotionally, I didn't feel safe because I was terrified about being judged. And I think a lot of people can relate to that. Think about what's somebody else going to say to you, or, if you're ever going into a conversation and you're preparing your answer, or you're forward thinking, well, what are we going to say? We call that protection, but actually it's just manipulation. We're manipulating ourselves. from a safety point of view. And it was that box of mirrors that went, holy shit. How have I been shown up like this, that I really started to get curious. But it was super uncomfortable. And I'm so grateful for that work. And I've stayed in it. I've never actually come out of it since 2021. So I coach and I mentor it. I'm on the board of advisors. I'm obsessed with it because it was so life-changing for me. So that was where it all started.
Oh my God, so good. And it's just so interesting. One other thing, and thank you so much for sharing. I did not know there's new thing. There's always new levels of knowing each other, and there's always like I like that there's always a new taste, new flavor, shape, color. Like my lovely friend Joanna, as you see here, is not the foxy lady that I knew yesterday. So for me, every time I meet is every state I choose to be in, it's just like, well, who is this new person I look at? Because Joanna is, as I, as you, we are not our past. It has shaped us, and we define who we are in this moment. Like I make tons of mistakes all the time, and I'm not that. I am that if I choose to label me by that, as Joanna shared, like so that my focus will be there, and I will limit myself for the light, the shine that we are here to watch right now between Joanna and I. So it is so critical for us to face our fear, because if we choose to say no to face our fear will be our reality, because we choose our fear so that it become real for us and we live in there. That is hiding us to be a trailblazer in our life, whatever we choose in life, in what kind of business or career, whatever you choose, is so critical to face it. And as I see fear, as Joanna said, like all the different kind of labels we can give each other, like I'm ugly, I'm beautiful, I'm weak, I'm strong, I'm unloved. It is just emotion, and in that emotion, there is so much wisdom to dig in. There is nothing wrong to say I'm a drama queen. There's nothing wrong to say I'm weak. What is in that? If I'm weak, I choose to say, okay, I'm weak right now. What does that open the door for me for? Ask Joanna for support, like I did today before we go live. That's why I choose to be a little bit late, because I need Joanna's support. I choose to, as I feel this moment, I weak mistake. What does that allow me to do? Instead of facing, say, I will not be that, allow that, say, okay, what is this about? Okay, I can ask Joanna for help and just be in it, be in the moment instead of do myself wrong, because if I do myself wrong, I'm doing violence to myself. One other thing I love by you, I always remember this by you, Joanna, like when we was coaching together for over 1 year ago, where I was really like in your face with a student we have together, that I say, you're doing violence to you right now. And you was like, wow, that was a big word. And we get to be bold to call it out for what it is, because if I choose to judge myself for to be weak, I'm doing violence to myself. That is one of the 8 different kind of violence that we human doing to ourselves, as others, as to the society. So I will not be a good friend to Joanna if I judge myself to be weak, or if I'm judge myself to be a mistake that I experienced before this call, like the emotion was coming up in me. So yeah, so powerful. So love. Why is Trailblazer a topic for you that is so important? Because I've heard you talk about that many times, and I'm curious to know what is in this amazing topic that means so much to you.
Well, let me share something you said there. I just want to share with people, and then I'll answer that question. Because when you were talking about that, I remember that trigger, right? And I think it's so important to go, because this is something that I've learned through all like of the work that I've been doing on myself, is like, when I'm triggered, what does it actually mean? Because again, it's the safety piece. Like it's like, what does it mean? And like it can be something as simple as like, you don't want to be judged because you want to sit and people pleasing, but it's always interesting to have a look and see, why are you triggered by something? Because the trigger is like a zip up, right? It's going to go all the way up. It's going to infiltrate like in your mind and stay there. But it's always something really good to look at. Going back to the question that you just asked me, so this is a word I've used for a long time, right? I always knew that there was like a really solid mission inside of me to be able to support other women, to be able to rise up together. This is my vision, everybody, right?
Yes.
to be able to rise up together, and that I was the person that got to lead the way forward for them. I got to be that, because coming from a single parent in a single parent home, I was like, the book is going to stop with me for the generations going forward. That's what trailblazing is. However, it took me a while to really embody that. So this is more than belief, right? Like there's a lot of words that get thrown around in like the mindset space that, not that I don't agree with, but they just don't go deep enough. And for me, whenever you are looking to, feel really good about yourself, create the life that you want, live from that really neutral kind of place, it comes from embodiment. So you get to embody all those pieces. But I had an epiphany when I was in Dubai. I was in Dubai at the beginning of November, and I felt like a trailblazer, was acting like a trailblazer.
Oh yeah.
Still a notch missing, right? Like there always is. I'm always curious, like, what's my next level? And the whole belonging piece came up when I was in Dubai. I had like floods of tears. I was with the girls that I was on the retreat with, was in floods of tears. And it was from the questions that they were like being really lovingly asking me. I was like, oh my goodness, my sense of belonging has been missing. So, and I was like, do you ever have like this? I don't know if you can call me crazy, but do you ever have this where you get an epiphany and it's like a movie reel just runs through your mind?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So this was what it was like. It was like everything that, like, not everything that happened in my life, but like pivotal things in my life. I'm like, oh, I didn't feel like I belonged. 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 Can I tell you, when I had that epiphany when I was in Dubai, the sense of calm and just inner knowing was crazy. Like, it was crazy. And actually, from operating from that place of like just that peace and calm and inner knowing, the messages I've been getting from people about my energy lately and how they're so drawn to me, drawn to how I'm showing up, and they feel safe with me. And I'm like, that's incredible. Like, something like, there's always another level with where you get to go. So for me, trailblazer is, being willing to lead the way for others in whatever you do, whatever, that can be in your family, that can be in your relationship, that can be in your business, that could be in your career. It doesn't matter. But for me, that's what that means. And for me personally, I get to trailblaze the way forward for women, particularly single parents, that they can have abundance, freedom, and unconditional love through entrepreneurship. And I'm just showing them how to do it.
I love that. And that is so true, girl. There is a different kind of shine or you like your skin a little bit glowy. You are putting nail polish on your fingers. Oh, yes, girl. And you have colors on you. Like there is something like some sexiness over you when you're on the videos you are showing on social media. It's like, oh, girl, that is the sexy lady. I know that was there. Oh, yeah. Show the move. I was like, 100% you're showing up that because I also feel more attracted to you or called to you or like, what to look at her. Because it's really calling out to, I also feel, I really believe more people, if I experience it, some people also experience that when you're showing up that in the lights, the smile you have on your lips, on your videos is just so deep and raw, and it's just shining off and knowing that you are in connection with what you burn for or are here on this earth to create. And that is really, really pulling me forwards in just watching it, not really having sound. Sometimes I don't have sounds on when I'm on work. I'm just like looking at you. It's like, I have no clue what she's saying because I cannot hear a thing right now. And just watching the energy, it gave me the energy of like, oh, I get to take action. Oh, I get to do something.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Now you know that. So in to be like come to the point where you are right now of the journey you have and to be a trailblazer, what is really coming to me with the wording is really allow yourself to be you and choose the path that you choose to go. One of the things before I ask the questions is around you talk about the pictures and also the pictures on your wall. I know there's a person that have made that for you. Is when we have pictures in the mind, I have a huge belief on that. Like when we have like this, like one of us, like, what is going on? I did not think about that. I was like coming like flesh, like I'm in a movie time right now with myself, whatever I am, or I have like silence and the common word. I really have a huge belief that is the spirits, the God, whatever you believe, that is really speaking so clearly into you. And the question is, do you choose to grab it? Because it's gone, a blink of the eye, and it's passed away. And I really believe in this moment when, as you have, as I have, it is the spirits, it is our higher purpose, it is a higher being that's really coming to us because we are ready to act. The question is, do you choose to act on it? Or do you choose to just like, I wait on 1 hour to do something with it? Like when I watch your video, when there's something coming to me, I know I get to act. Because if I'm not acting, I'm kidding myself and I'm holding myself small. Because my brain's saying I get to act. No matter if I do not know what to act, I'm just get to make action on something.
Comes, I think, from the intention though, doesn't it? Right? Like,
Yeah.
it's like in every moment where you've used this word a few times, in every moment we have a choice.
Yeah.
But are we aware we have a choice? And then are we
Yeah.
willing to accept that we have a choice? And then are we willing to take action on the choice? And the choice isn't always going to feel comfortable. But I always remember my cousin. So my cousin Matthew, he's a personal trainer. And I remember him saying this years ago. You know the way you'll get people will say things and it just sticks with you?
Oh, yeah.
I always remember him saying that he used to say to his clients, I'm sure he still does, right? That you're already uncomfortable where you're at and it's uncomfortable where you're going. Either way, you're uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You just got to choose which direction you want to go. And I'm like, that's really powerful because it's so true. Because most of the times if there's something not going right, we don't like it, we don't enjoy it, we're looking for something different. And then when we look at like where we're going and what it's going to take to get there, whether it's financially, emotionally, relationally, spiritually, whatever it is, it's uncomfortable because it requires a breakthrough. It's like, well, which do you want? You're uncomfortable either way. And I just think that's just, yeah, in the moment, what am I choosing? I'm already uncomfortable. Which
Yeah.
level of uncomfortableness do I want to choose?
That is a powerful one to share with someone to say, like, I don't like to be uncomfortable.
Mm.
Because transformation is uncomfortable and
I
it
don't like to be
is
uncomfortable, Tanya.
what?
I don't like to be uncomfortable. I got told at the weekend, so I was on a spa retreat at the weekend, and I got told multiple times, like things that people really admire about me is the fact that I'm a risk taker and I take
Yeah.
big risks confidently. I'm like, I didn't even realize I did that. In my mind, I'm just like, everything's figure outable. I'm not going to die. Like, what's the worst that would happen? Even if I was to go bankrupt, okay, and I'm still alive. Like,
Yeah.
so like, what's really going to happen? But I just think that's really interesting. It's like, what are you choosing? What's the action? And are you willing to take the risk? Because I
Mm.
don't even see things as risk.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Also, this question that is also stick to me all the time. Like, what is the biggest consequence that can happen for you to act? And when I break it down, like, what is the biggest consequence for me to be a hot mess in the beginning? The biggest consequence, I will die. Would that happen? No. Okay, is there as a consequence with going live and being messy? No, there is no consequence.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, my consequence is actually it's never I'm gonna say the tangible pieces, like as in
Yeah, of course.
going broke. That doesn't even come into my mind, which is weird considering raised in a single parent home where money was tight. Like that should be my mindset, but it's actually not. Mine is more, am I going to be rejected and left alone? That's my biggest fear. That's the consequence that I'm afraid of. It's never, am I going to go broke? Because I'm like, okay, well, if I go broke, so what? Like, just go get
Yeah.
like a job or, something. Like, that's just not something how my mind works. But I think it's really interesting what we're driven by. Like, what are we activated by? Like, because you're either activated by what you want or you're activated by what you don't want. And in my experience, if you're activated by what you don't want, then things will feel much harder because you're sitting in the problem.
Yeah.
You're trying to act, you're trying to act, you're wanting people to lift you out of the problem. Whereas if you're activated by desires, like things that you really, really want, you will be driven to go for it. So that's where I think like the risk taking and the choice piece kind of comes into it. It's like, well, do you actually even know what you're activated by? A lot of people don't.
No. True. And also like you have followed me for years, girls. Like since I come home from Guatemala was a huge life changing for me. It was just like in summer 2020 was the first time I truly know what love means. When I told my mom that I know you know that I push you away when you choose to love me. And she said, yes, that was because I did not love you. To say to my mom in 2020, say, I have never loved you. How can I know how to love you when I freaking fucking hate myself so fucking badly? And I could not look myself in the mirror, like, how can I do it? And she was like, silence. And I said to her, I know now that I love myself and I can truly say, I love you. And she was just like crying. That was the first time in my being that I knew what self-love means. And that means to really acknowledge, accept, be grateful, forgive myself for everything in the past. Since I get out of my mom's beautiful body to into this life, I'm responsible for every second since my mom and my dad get birth to me. And I own that. That is who is a part of me. And from that point where I really say to my mom that I truly love you, like now also when I say love you to you, like I feel this like warm softness, like my heart is glowing, bursting, and really like having this like really grounding. And it's also freaking scary because one of the things that is, as you know, that is freaking scary for me to really choose to say I love you, like I really mean it with bottom of my heart, is I feel I give piece of my heart to you. Because when my daddy chose to take into life, I chose to create a belief, as you know, that I will never love someone again because I will never experience this kind of pain. And I shut down for every relationship, also myself. So have I really loved my mom when I have not seen that inside? There's always, to be a trailblazer, as I see, there's always next level. There's always next level in self-love. There's always next level in transformation, transforming us to our life purpose. And there's always different kind of shape, color, taste, cold, warm in everything we choose to work on. And there's always a price to pay. The question is, are you willing to pay the price to be uncomfortable, to owning your voice and owning your message? And for me, to be honest, I have not. And that is also one of the things, like you asked me about my business. There's still a part of me that is so freaking scary that freak me the hell out. Like I want to running away. Like I'm out of this shit, to really owning the new movement I want to create around conservation, where we bring leadership, emotions into the picture, how we work with nature, because it is missing the game. It is all about how we work with nature, how we work with animals, and the person is in suffering, is in pain, because the person is an adult child. The person have never worked with the past, worked with the childhood, and if a person have not healed a childhood, the person will never become free, the person will never become adult. That was the first time I heard that from a person when I get like borderline PTSD and depression into when I was in my 30s. And he's like, welcome, you are starting to become adult. I was like, what? Are you kidding me? Like I get adult when I was 18. I said, no, you're not. You first become adult, a woman adult when you heal your childhood. It's like, are you sure? I was like, yes.
That's
A lot of
powerful.
people die when they a child. Yeah, a lot of people die when they're a child inside. I was like, God damn it. So how can we know really when we are trailblazers? How can we really know we are doing is one of the things that have really healed, as I also know to you guys with Joanna, is choosing to have a coach in our life, like really having a person in our life that is the next level of where we get to go, because they are our mirror into our blind spots in our what is where we're holding ourselves back, and they have our back, because sometimes in life it is freaking lonely to create a change, and it has freaked me the hell out to experience that, like I'm alone, and to experience letting go of relationship that I thought would be in my life for years, and choose to let go because they choose not to grow and I choose to bring growth. That means I get to choose relationship that choose to be grow in this moment, so that I can grow and be stronger and faster in whatever I get to change in conservation that I really burn for to change the picture.
It's amazing. Can
Yeah,
I pick up on something you said there too? Because
yeah,
I think just to go a little bit deeper, you talked there about self-love.
Yeah.
And I think for anyone watching this, something I'd love to invite you to do is to really look and go, do you look at love as a whole, or do you compartmentalize it? Because something that I've realized like over the last few years is love. It just is.
Mm.
And when we talk about how like we love our kids unconditionally, but people we love conditionally, which isn't true, because love is love.
Mm.
You might have a different type of love, like as in it may not be romantic anymore, but you still like see human to human, it's love. But when you were talking there about self-love, it just really brought me back to this when I used to compartmentalize it. Love is love. So if you say that that you come from a place of love, or that you love people, that has to start with you, because you're a person. Right? You're not devoid of this. It's not outside of you. It's not like, it's not you're in a box and they're in a
I
box.
choose the head on, now I'm in love.
Yeah, but I think it's something that people get to look at. So like if you're
Oh.
listening to this, ask yourself, up until now, have you been compartmentalizing love, which actually is a distraction for moving forward with what you want, because then there's unresolved shit that's going on inside of you. Whereas if it's love, if you come from a place of love, yes, you can see places that you get to heal, but it starts to release a lot more. Because then your come from is different. Like even if I look at like that relationship I was in that was toxic, I don't hate that man. Why would I? And a lot of people will be like, oh my God, I can't believe he did this to you. If I was to list out everything that happened, I'd be like, I can't believe. And yeah, I went through that too, going, I can't believe this happened. But yes, I can. Because when you come from a place of love, I didn't love myself. I said I love my child unconditionally. Did I? If I was willing to put her in that position. Did I really love him if I was willing to receive that type of love and try and fix him? No, that's not love. That's control. That's manipulation. But it's just, I think it's really interesting. So like that would be my invitation for anybody watching this is, when you're talking about love and like how you say, you love your kids, your family, or everything else, is it from that place of unconditionality? Is it compartmentalized and conditional? Because that's not love. I didn't know that. I was like, just like everybody else, where you'd sit with your cup of tea and bitch and moan about everything that was going on. And then go, no, but I love everybody. I love humans. No, I fucking didn't.
No. Oh. And also like one of the interesting thing, and that's also one of the thing I love by you, is like you choose to say no to hate your past, because everything is a choice. We choose what we choose and deal with it. Stop excuse yourself out there. You choose what you choose because it's important for you to choose it. So it is just so interesting, like how can you love someone that have done so much harm to yourself, or to one, like how can I love someone that really did horrible violence on me when I was running to a safety house for women? Is because what is the wisdom in it? What is the growth in it? What is the learning that he brought me into my life? What is the gift he brought me in my life? Instead of seeing its pain and suffering, what is the light in that? Because there's always light, there's always wisdom. The question is, do you choose to look at it like that?
That's so true though. Like that sure was the same for me with like with my miscarriages. Was I grieving? Yes. Was I in horrendous pain? Yes. Still grieve now? Yes. Do I look at it as something bad that happened to me? Actually, no. For many reasons, including I was actually invited to speak in Jamaica to women that experience miscarriages because it's so taboo over there.
Oh, wow.
To come in and share my story, especially being a single parent. So it added that extra layer, and to know that something that I went through that is, yes, painful for me, it actually supports other women. Like that's trailblazing. That's love. That's, having that come from that. That's also healing. It helps you heal when you know that you're able to support other people too.
Yeah, give you wisdom for it, and see your past as a wisdom, as it is a part of the trailblazing, because on the way we're going, whatever path we choose in life, when we choose to heal, when we choose to work on ourselves, it is also love. It is also love to the people that we meet, the people that is in our life, so that we are showing up in our best way as possible. Because some people, I have two people in my life, and that they right now it is a hot moment for them to choose self-development, and it's a part of my family, and I only choose that two people in my life. And okay, how can I be a better person, so that I show there's nothing wrong with it to work on yourself. That is what look like healing, what sounds like healing. Like, how can I embrace and transform myself into a being that showing the way how self-development can look like, and be the light, and really be showing empathy, compassion, stand and be also call them forward when they have a hot moment. Like, that is also love in the way as I see it as a trailblazer. Like, how can I be the best version so that people around me always choose to go to the next level?
And it is that it's a choice, right? And
Yeah,
there's a way to do it. Like, I've experienced it being done in, a controlment way, which is let me project all the blame onto you as to why I don't like how you are, how you're doing things, and then tell you what's wrong with you and why you need to do this.
yeah,
That's to come from, that's never going to land, right? You're always going to come up against a wall when you do that, versus saying, this is where I would love our relationship to go. This
yeah,
is what I would love for us to create. What are your thoughts on that? You're
yeah,
saying the same thing. Your come from is different. This is why I said earlier on about what are you activated by? Are you activated by the problems and what you don't want? Or are you activated by your desires and what you do want? And that's a really good example.
yeah. Oh, so good, so good. And also, like, one of the huge thing that also that the leadership journey we have been on and still are on, are still a part of, is really accepting myself. Because if I choose to say no to accept myself for my messiness sometimes, and my nerd party I have, is I will not accept other people when they are messy or when they are going in spin. So for me to accept someone from the past or the people I meet, because we see people in our life, in our way, in business, in the movement, in the community we are here to create as women. We will meet people, and people will be in our life that will be a hot mess, that will be a person you get to say no to, and you get to really learn the way to accept it, so that when you accept it and let it go, you let it go on that moment, because you're worth it to surround you with people that is working on themselves, that is responsible for the choices, that is also responsible to shift and choose something else if something is not working for them. They're willing to really do the work and do something they have never done before that freak them the hell out. And as I'm doing when I'm so freaking uncomfortable, like, I'm literally shitting, peeing my pants. Like, I have a huge body reaction when someone push me because it's so freaking uncomfortable. So my body's just like, oh, we just let it go of the shit. Yes, we just let it go of everything I get to let it go of. And it is so important. That is one of the things I truly love by Joanna, is she is the person that can make me so freaking uncomfortable that I'm sweating my pants off, Lilo. I'm sweating my pants off. Sounds like, oh, it's so uncomfortable this here. And I know I get to be there in this moment because it is a safe place. I know Joanna will never judge me, no matter what come out of my mouth, as the lovely expressive drama queen I can be. And I freaking love that girl because, woo, we just let go of everything on 1 minute. Woo, let us breathe outward. Do you want? Oh, now I want this here. Okay. What do you act on? So, Joanne, my love, I know you have, before we share your free gift, like, what is coming to you you would like to leave the audience with? With there is one thing you will leave the audience with, what would that be?
Yeah, I feel very strongly called actually to share this based on what you said. You can be and do anything that you want in the world. You've heard that before.
Mm.
And we talked a little bit about like love and, you know, that come from with that. But even look at the rest of relationships in your life, right? Not just you, but everybody else. Where do you get to forgive? Where are you
Mm.
holding on to that big ball of fire that actually you're the only person being burnt by it, that it's stopping you from moving forward?
Mm.
Forgiveness is like so underrated, or it's done haphazardly rather than it being a way of life to be able to walk through. And it's challenging because, you know, if somebody's done you wrong, you don't want to forgive them, but the forgiveness is actually for you. It's not for them. Their judgment is coming. You don't even need to worry about that. Karma's a
Yeah.
bitch. It's going to happen, right?
Welcome to be human.
Yeah. But you get to let go. Get to let go because the only person that it's holding onto and burning is you. All
Mm.
the hatred, anger, frustration, annoyance that you have towards somebody else, even it doesn't matter how much you're projecting it onto them, it's not penetrating them, but it's
Mm.
sticking with you. So that would be where I'd say, you know, you can absolutely have anything that you want, but you've got to let go and free yourself of the emotional pieces that are holding you and keeping you where you are and stopping you from where you want to go.
Mm. Yeah, really like step into the dream life or into the possibility that is lying in that one.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
so beautiful. So, my love, I know you have a free gift to the dear audience. Can you please share about that free gift you have to give?
Yeah, and it fits in really nicely actually to what we were talking about. So it's actually my wealthy woman meditation. And before anybody goes, we didn't talk about money. I know. Wealth for me is not just money. Wealth for me is like everything in your life. It's your relationships, how you feel about yourself, your health, all the different facets of it. And when you feel wealthy, when you feel like you belong, when you have that embodied, things start to shift in your life. So that is my gift for
Yeah.
you. I love this meditation because it really helps get you grounded in knowing that you are actually wealthy in all areas of your life and you just get to have your come from be in that place.
Oh, so beautiful. And to the dear audience, that's how do you get access to this amazing free gift that is in the Zoom right now in the chat, and you will also receive that in an email. You're also welcome to reach out to Joanna, connect with her personally. So how can people get connected with you, my love?
John, my favorite place actually to hang out and have conversations is on Instagram. So it's Awaken Potential Coaching. So if you want to hop over there and just, even if you just send me a follow, you're going to get a voice message to say hi from me anyway. But I love to have connected conversations over there.
I just love that part of you. You love your voice message. I'm just freaking love that like that. So
Yeah, I do. One of my friends hates it. She's like, but stop sending me voice messages. I'm like, no, because things get lost in translation. You get to hear my lovely dulcet tones. So suck it up, woman.
So go there, dear audience, and follow Joanna on Instagram, and also go back in your newsletter. That is the link to Forgive. You're also welcome. You can always her name is on this in the video right now, so you can always find that and put it on Facebook if you want to follow her there. If when you choose to be committed, you will find a way how to get connected with Joanna. And if you are there and you choose say no to find a way, you can always send me a message and I will send all the information to you. So there's always a way how you get connected with Joanna. When you choose to be committed, there is a way. The question is, do you choose to be the trailblazer of your life, to do what is necessary to get connected with this amazing foxy lady you're seeing next to me? So guys, it was a bliss for us to have you here and for your time. And we'd love to know what is one of your takeout you take with us. Please send that to Joanna on Instagram. Send her a personal message on Instagram. What is the takeout you take with you? You're also welcome to put it on the live YouTube so that we are really seeing what is the takeout, because when you share the takeouts, you're also showing people that it's not scary to share your voice, to share your insights. And also when you choose to act on that, you're choosing to go deeper with your insight because you act on whatever that comes to you. Like when you say about that, when I see Joanna's video and something comes to me, like I know I get to act, because if I'm not acting, I'm just holding myself back in what I'm coming from. It's like, hell to the fuck no, I'm not holding myself back. If I know there comes something, I get to act. So please act with the one takeout. There's always a takeout. If you see her as a foxy lady, just send her a message like, hey, Joanna, I think you are a foxy lady, like Tanja says. So there's always an insight, so you can share a person with her, and she will just think it's a blast, and you'll receive a voice message from her. So thank you so much, my love, for you to be here. Again, I love you so dearly, and so up to the moon and sky, back again around the world, and a little beautiful kick in the ass, in each other's ass. I just fucking love you, girl.
I love you too. Thank you so much for this. And thank you
You're
to everybody.
welcome.
Can't wait to chat to you all.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here. We wish you a Merry Christmas and have a beautiful day, everyone. Mwah. See you out there. Bye, everyone.
Um,
Really?
you're still on YouTube?
Yeah.